What is going on, everybody? It is another week of the Writers' Room from Breaking and Entering. I'm Alan Halas, and as always, I am joined by my River West cohort, the host of the Mr. Nice Guy podcast, and Breaking and Entering contributing writer Ben Slowey. Ben, how are you doing, sir?
Thanks for having me again, Alan. I'm great. Best mood I've been in a little while. I feel like. I don't know. It's a great week so far. I feel like I've been productive so far this week. How do you feel?
I am in very much the same mood. Things are finally feeling like I'm getting out of that little bit of like funk that I was in. It's kind of like I've been thinking about like hockey, like when they're like a team has a penalty and they're a player down, and then all of a sudden they're back to full strength. I feel like we are back to full strength. And very, very excited. Plus, the Milwaukee music scene has been on fire lately. So, just lots of good things happening, you know. Feeling relaxed. I haven't worn shoes, like real shoes, in like 2 days. So, always just, you know, super, super relaxed. So, things are going well.
I feel you on the not wearing shoes. I never wear shoes. I hate shoes. In fact, like... I bike with my slides on.
Okay.
I hate socks. I hate shoes. I try to wear like the least like constricting shoe possible, like whenever I can.
Solid.
But my feet are always dirty, so I have to constantly like wash them off in the bathtub like all the time.
I'm very much the same way that like. I used to think for a long time, like, if I went out in sandals, it was like I gave up on the world kind of thing. I don't know why. Now I am a big proponent of slides, and I think it might actually be from hanging around, like, Alpine and Schlieberry, how, like, they would just do everything in slides no matter what. Or Genesis Renji performed at Hip Hop Week one time on the Milwaukee Theater stage in slides, just 'cause.
Yeah, so, it's a way to live by. I walked from Sherwood and back in slides today, so
okay.
I will say that like they're a good idea when you're just like going around the block, but when you're walking long distances, they are not ideal. And about halfway down that journey, I did wish someone could pick me up and take me home.
You know, it does happen. But yes, lots of amazing things. We're going to get into a video real quick. Speaking of the amazing music that's been coming out, I believe we covered this last week on the website. This is the new video from Indonesian Junk for City Lights. And we'll talk more about some of the amazing things happening in both of our worlds in just a little bit on the Writers' Room. But first, enjoy this video from Indonesian Junk.
Say you're faking it, you want attention.
All right, that was Indonesian Junk with City Lights on the Writers' Room. Really, really dig that band. Love the whole like power pop sound, and their name is a Cheap Trick reference for anybody that didn't know. It's from the song Surrender. But really, really like everything they're doing with the whole power pop sound, and feels like a blast from the past a little bit when you hear them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they vocalist Daniel James has like such a like striking voice that like does feel like it does have it. It kind of like is a blast of like that popular like pop and rock sound that was really popular like in the late 70s. But they do it in like kind of like a cool like garagey, almost kind of punk way.
Yeah.
And their record Spider Bites that came out last year was, it was terrific. And yeah, I mean, it's always good to breathe fresh air into like vintage stylistic.
Right. Yeah, and the way that they do it actually sounds great, because the thing that when you run into like I don't know, like an older sounding genre is you want to do it without sounding like you're like a cover band. And I think the way that Indonesian Junk do it, they have like an energy to them that that really just kind of kick it up a notch and kind of give it a refresh. And I haven't seen them live yet, but based on that video, I really want to see if they bring the scarves out for the microphones in the live setting as well. So someday we'll get to that.
The doodles will come to life.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Big things happening in the world of not only Milwaukee music, but for us as well, especially you, Mr. Slowey. I saw an announcement this week. The Mr. Nice Guy podcast is returning. And cannot wait to see some new episodes of the show. When are we coming back? When are we getting back to business?
Glad you asked. So, as you know, as I had kind of, as you know, we've talked about in the last couple of months, I'd always kind of anticipated that it was going to come back naturally when it felt right. But, when quarantine started, none of us knew how long we would still be doing meetings and stuff over Zoom and,
right.
Wearing masks and social distancing and stuff. I thought it would be a couple weeks, to be honest. I was like, oh yeah, this will be done by May at the
Same.
At the latest.
Yeah, I was totally thinking a month. Yeah.
Yeah, but then once May came, it still things hadn't changed, and this summer things just got worse.
Yeah.
So, I think that it was a matter of stubbornness that I didn't want the format to change. I wanted to keep it in person. I didn't want to diminish how personal it is to hang out with somebody in person. And,
right.
Drink whatever it is you're drinking and, hang out. But the thing is, that's exactly what we're doing right now. It's just, in front of a computer screen.
Yeah.
And, I had a really good therapy session last week, and my therapist, honestly, I give him a lot of credit because he gave me a good pep talk that I can still, considering there's a lot of uncertainty about the world, I might as well adapt. So, and it would really help me with feeling empty and feeling this void of not being able to do something that helps me make sense of the world. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And it's great because now this means I can interview anybody pretty much wherever.
Yeah.
It was always about I could only do episodes with people that could either I could reach in person or they could come to me. But now I can do it wherever and whenever. And this
might be the global expansion of Mr. Nice Guy now, because now you have the ability to Zoom to the whole world and get it out there. So
Nice Guy's going overseas.
There you go.
We're exporting, but
I like it.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. So August 1st will be when I will officially start recording again. And I have a lot to catch up. I had to cancel a lot of interviews that I had scheduled.
Sure.
So I owe a lot of people some episodes. So it'll definitely fill up my my time slots pretty quickly, but it's something that I'm sure will feel like it'll feel natural and it'll feel great, once I'm back into it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. And to go with it, I believe I also saw that there's some Mr. Nice Guy merch that is now available with the tagline "What keeps you up at night," which for those of you that have not seen an episode of Mr. Nice Guy, every episode ends by asking you what keeps you up at night and then what puts you to bed, which I think is an amazing, amazing way to close out a show that is very personal, like Mr. Nice Guy is. So I have to commend you on a well executed plan there, and I mean it looks good on a shirt too.
Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, got them in limited supply. I figured it would go well with the announcement that I'm coming back. That I have something tangible that people can buy and show the brand, and I'm excited for that. I've already sold a handful.
Hey.
$15 a pop. Get yours fast.
Yeah, and they can do that by just hitting you up, right?
Yeah.
There you go. At BSlowBro, Twitter, Instagram. You can just hit them up on Facebook. Send your messages to Breaking and Entering. We'll forward them on to them. We swear.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's. I feel like that's why I'm in such a good mood this week.
Yeah, definitely, and well deserved, because you've been working hard on the show, and the next phase of it is only starting too. On my end of things, I gotta say things are going really, really well. Like I said, I feel like I'm back to checking out lots of new music and putting out more stuff. I had some time to do some YouTube surfing today and check out some of the latest Milwaukee music videos that came out. And I just feel like the quality of music lately, the last couple of weeks, has really stepped up. Like the number of people that have chose to put out videos and put out projects and things like that. We had a little bit of a lull where some newer, younger artists were there that weren't as established, and now I want to say, we're covering a lot of great music from some of the heavy hitters that are starting to really come with it. And there's there's EPs and things lined up along the way too. So definitely dug the new Eli Stones that was out. He's got a new EP coming out soon. There's a new Gorilla Ghost that comes out at the end of the month. So yeah. Lots of great things that we've been covering on the site as well.
Yeah, there's been so much stuff that constantly keeps me maintaining lists and stuff of everything we got to get to day by day, and that feels good because people are clearly still have a lot of faith in Milwaukee music despite the lack of shows, and we got a great EP from Mass Verde.
Yeah.
Side project from Will Frang and the Goodline Gang. We have a great new record from La Resorts, which came out recently as well.
Right, they kind of quietly snuck that one out, and they actually admitted to that they said, hey, they didn't really make it known. But I was like, how did we miss? But yeah, no, it was because they just kind of slipped it out there.
It's a record that sounds like a romantic walk through the park.
Yeah, everything I've heard from them. I have audibly wept to a La Resorts song, and I'm glad I was just in my car by myself. But now I've admitted that to the world. So, that happens, but great stuff from them too.
Yeah. We've got even more coming up. Like you said, the videos have been in massive amounts lately. We've just been getting stacks of music videos from folks. It's cool to have a pool of them to choose from for, our weekly
for the show
room and everything. So
and among them is the next video that we're gonna play. It's from 608 Trace, who we were talking about earlier today, has been just putting out music constantly. Almost Genesis Renji levels of putting out music is, I believe, the term we used in text message today.
Pretty much like, a song a week, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy. I actually know 608 Trace back from when he was a skateboarder, which he's still a great skateboarder too. For a brief period, I was helping run a skateboard company called Crime Lab Skate, and we were filming a contest, and I ended up filming a lot of Trace's stuff from a contest at Four Seasons here in Milwaukee. But great dude, and also very, very promising as an artist as well. And I think this is some of the best stuff that I've seen from him so far. So,
let's do it.
Yeah. So with that, here's the song 608 Trace and Mid City Kid. The song is called "Sing My Song" on the Writers' Room.
If life was perfect every single day, then there would be no need for motivation. No reason to get up and chase them dreams. Been feeling weak, I could barely eat for the last 2 days. It's high in my stomach, starting to lose weight, like liposuction, like I just sucked it and never let it out until my mind busted. Spontaneous combustion went to fire, then it's nothing. No breathing room to vent it. Shit, what if I told you I was deep into depression? Fuck, what if I told you that sleep would truly help me and the answer is natural, just like eating fruits and veggies? Shit, what if I rapped about keeping you healthy? Is it corny? Metaphorically, it's teaching you a message. Innocent souls turn to a gray-haired professor. They listen when you flow, educated when I tell it. The game has made me selfish, still I keep some faith in my resemblance. My mind's gone, I'll take another message. Music is the universal language of the heavens, through the bass and through the treble. Every day is a blessing, ladies and gentlemen. I don't always go how it's supposed to, but I keep on keeping on. I don't know where I'll be when it's over, but for now I'ma sing my song. Life don't always go how it's supposed to, but I keep on keeping on. I don't know where I'll be when it's over, but now I'ma sing my song. Ooh la la, ooh la la la. Ooh la la, ooh la la la. Ooh la la, ooh la la la. Ha 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 ha. You wanna know about me, then take a seat and listen. It's a long story, my family tree different. We never met my mom's pop, so there's leaves missing. If we all knew where we came from, maybe shit would be different. Maybe we'd care a little more and worry less. Maybe we would just accept this our experience. Maybe we'd stop taking things personal. Bilal would've told you, get that out your chest, and that's my brother to the death. Had to get up out my hometown on the road now, and yes, it's what's best. I'm too blessed to be stressed. Know that dream works like I'm Shrek. With teamwork, we might learn how to deal with them tests and outlet all that I need to stress. I give my perspective a stretch. All I feel is love, all I see is success. But life ain't gon' go how you expect, just have faith with it. Life don't always go how it's supposed to, but I keep on keeping on my way. I don't know where I'll be when it's over, but now I'ma sing my song. Life don't always go how it's supposed to, but I keep on
wait. Forgot. We're at 5 in the morning.
Very valuable pieces of equipment that you should have brought with you today.
I don't even know where I am right now.
What's focal fuse again?
Focal fuse. It is everything you think it is and more.
So minus to the
So
plus.
continuum transfunctioner to take you back to the future goes up.
So that's what you're wrong, huh?
Yeah, but you put a rag down in there. This whole problem literally just is solved by a rag.
Alright, that was 608 Trace featuring the Mid-City Kid with Sing My Song. I like that they have the credits in the end of that where you get to see a little bit of Trace's personality as well. And very cool kid, and he's not a kid, he's a grown man, but very cool to see the personality come out too. And it's a great song with a real like soulful feel to it too. So
Yeah, I was blown away by that music video when I saw it. Just how like profound it was, like emotionally, and just so heartfelt, and about how like life doesn't go the way you expect it to sometimes, and that can lead to a lot of like hopelessness and depression and stuff. And I gotta say, when I had 608 Trace on Mr. Nice Guy last fall, it was one of those episodes that like reminded me like why I do what I do, because
Right.
he has a really, really fascinating story. He's such a humble and genuine guy. He wants to work. He just loves working with all kinds of different artists, and he has a really cool like fusion sound. And quite frankly, I really want to see his show.
yeah, it would be cool to see that translate to a live experience as well. That kind of gets into, this is normally the segment where we talk about what we've been listening to. Kind of really ties in with what I've been listening to lately, like a lot of like kind of soulful like R&B hip hop fusion kind of stuff. It is summertime. I've been in a very laid back mood. Like I said, haven't been wearing shoes and stuff like that. So I've been listening to a lot of music that kind of goes with that. So I think I've mentioned on the show here before, there's an EP by Robert Glasper and Kamasi Washington and Ninth Wonder, and I think that's all the people that are on it. There might be more. Really been listening to a lot of that. Same as like I've been listening to like The Roots and like Common and people that just kind of have like a like it's hip hop, but it's definitely like a more relaxed sound. And definitely could put that 608 Trace song, in the mix with like my playlist for sure, and be checking that out. But so that's what I've been listening to. Ben, outside of the Milwaukee music stuff, what have you been getting into lately?
Well, it's so I know last week when we talked about this, I was in a pop punk mood, and I still kind of am, still listening to that and some emo stuff. I was getting into the band Fireworks today.
Okay.
But honestly, so I was out of town this past weekend. I was at a lake house with some friends, and so I didn't have too much time to listen to music this weekend. So, quite frankly, Milwaukee music has taken up a lot of my past week.
Sure.
There was a lot of really cool experimental music that dropped last week. We got an album from Jake Marine. We got a project from Goldblock, Citizen 213, some noise music. We got a new song from the Unitaskers. Like, that was honestly a lot of when I did listen to music, I was listening to Milwaukee.
Sure.
But this week I have a lot more time, so I will be expanding on listening to a lot more emo.
Right.
Some power pop I've got on my list. Gonna get into some Joyce Manor and some Tiger's Jaw very soon.
Okay.
I like those bands. It's you go down kind of a rabbit hole when you try to like, when you try to break Midwest emo apart, and because there's so many bands that just blew up in the late 90s and early 2000s with that stuff.
Oh yeah, no, totally, definitely. And actually, I was going to ask you, that Goldblock project, is that Careless? Is that another project from? That's a side project, right?
Yeah, that's Brian King's solo thing.
Okay. that is another guy that is just putting out tons and tons of music, whether it be experimental or more poppy, like the Gold Block stuff kind of went. Just an immense amount of music that guy has been able to create. And friend of the show, supporter of Breaking and Entering, we've seen that he's purchased some merch from us. So, shameless plug. You can buy Breaking and Entering merch and Mr. Nice Guy merch. Support us both. Help it out.
Yeah, big shout out to Ryan. He runs Collective Records, which has like several other like cool experimental and like pop, like sort of bedroom pop type projects that we can never get enough of. So Carol's dropped like 2 records already this year. So, it's like I'm very inclined with that dimension of the music scene. So I get really excited whenever we get a new noise project or
definitely. More experimental kind of stuff. And another artist that has dropped a ton of sort of experimental and kind of indie poppy kind of stuff are the Quilz, who are the next video that we're going to play here. That'll be our last video for the week on Breaking and Entering, or on the Writer's Room. I always want to say Breaking and Entering Radio, and it's never right.
We do too many podcasts.
We got a lot of stuff. We're just putting out the content. But the Quilz. So normally, like I leave a lot more of the experimental stuff to you, but the Quilz is definitely like digestible for me, which is it sounds like I'm like kind of shitting on like the experimental scene here. Personally, it's just not my thing. But
that's okay.
Fortunately, we have Ben here to do that sort of thing for us,
for sure,
and go down that rabbit hole for us. But the Quilz, watching this video, I was real into it. I was really, really into what they're doing. And they've been putting out a ton of music as well, or, hopping on remixes and all sorts of different stuff like that, too.
Yeah, they've dropped a couple singles that are really good, like, really remarkable, like, dream pop, synth pop, stuff that feels so like ethereal. Like it's I thought that this video just like the way they utilized like the beach and the phone was just really creative. So big ups to the Quilz on this one.
Yeah, definitely. And that's South Shore Park, and I know both of us have hung out in that park recently. Spent some time there this weekend as well. So
I just spent a lot of money at the beer garden this weekend, so
I spent a little bit of money there as well. Actually, I did. Well, with that in mind, let's go to South Shore Park for the Quilz. This is Hello on the Writer's Room. All right, that was the Quills with Hello on the Writer's Room. And very cool video. And I was thinking about it during that video. We mentioned that that is part of, that it's South Shore Park, that it's Bayview. Last week we featured Paper Holland's Back to the Sea video, which was shot just down the road from that. So it would be cool if somebody could put together a map of like all the Milwaukee music video locations at some point and figure out who's been where shooting what video so that we can see, where the overlap is and see the difference of it. It'll never happen, but I think that that's something very cool that could be potentially utilized in the future. So,
that would be a cool concept to do. Like, if somebody actually took the time and invested in that idea, I feel like you'd find it, like, so many crossroads. It would be cool to see.
Yeah, just the number of people that have filmed in, Bayview or downtown or, it's cool now because I've lived here long enough that I can drive around and, like, I'm not going to say I know where everything is, right? But watching the videos, I'm like, oh, that's South Shore Park, that's downtown, that's whatever. Like, so it's cool for me to see how people utilize the city, too, for the visual aspect of things. And see where people are working and what they're involving. I saw an underground hip hop video from Mike this week that featured, or maybe it was late last week, that featured them on a boat in the Third Ward rapping. So just all sorts of unique situations and scenarios. And I would be the one that would like geek out about like, oh, they're in this spot or they're over here. Or how many videos have been shot here? So, just my 2 cents on that.
Someone should do that. Someone who's watching, they should do that.
Yes, somebody who's really good with Google Maps and, like, technology. Make it happen. Analyze a lot of videos. Make a bot watch, like, thousands of Milwaukee music videos and then just put them all together. I don't know. Yeah. They can probably do that with technology now. I don't know. Probably. Sure. So that wraps things up for this week. Ben, this is normally the point where we ask for some words of wisdom for you going into the week ahead. How you feeling? What are you thinking for the upcoming week?
Good stretch. Well, damn. I feel like a lot of the things I'd normally say have already been said. Well. Shit. I could just say that, I think that, I mentioned earlier that, a really good conversation with a therapist became what would ultimately sort of like revive some motivation in me and some overcoming, like, some hesitance to do something a little different with my platform, and I think that's just what I needed. So, a lot of highs and lows have come with quarantine, and
right.
I get a lot of highs come from like having good conversations, such as the ones we do every week with this, and as well as like just having a good catch up with. Whether it's my mom or whether it's a good friend of mine or, just talking to someone that, like, I haven't really been able to normally see because of quarantine. And those have been my highs, and my lows come from pretty much all the time between that.
Yeah.
So I think that, we should really, like, keep reaching out to our people and, do something that you can do that is safe, like a social distance hangout, like going to walk somewhere, or, like, if there is a restaurant or a bar that's open but has like outdoor seating and is taking the necessary safety procedures, like,
right?
Like that's an option. Or
yeah.
To just, like go on walks and hang out in the capacity that you can. I need to do that more. Maybe if I had done that the last couple months more with other friends, like maybe, it would have made me feel better at one point or another. But now, I'm going to make an effort to do that more. So yeah, I just say that work within your means.
Yeah, totally. And speaking of places that are outdoor seating, shout out to Captain Pat's Pilot House, who is putting on music on their patio. I'm going to be talking to them this week for Shepherd Express. And also shout out to Cactus Club. Cactus Club. Well, I don't know why I said it like that. But shout out to them for doing carry out, and you can go sit out at Cactus Club. You don't have the rumbling of the music coming from the back room just yet. But, shout out to them. You can still go out and support a local venue that way. They're doing regular carry-out, I believe, Thursday through Sunday as well. So make sure you go support them. And I actually just talked to them recently, too. And they are too new of a business to receive federal funding. So make sure you go support them and get some carry-out from them as well. That's not an ad. That's just me telling you to do that sort of thing. But I wholeheartedly agree with you as well. I think there's so much that comes from even doing this. Even having conversations with people on a weekly basis just to check up and see how they're doing. See what for us, like what we're listening to. Last week I got to send some records, like I said, to one of my friends that I've known since I was 3, and send them out to check them out. And then we've been talking more now because of that. So, I totally believe in that too. Communication is key. And I did think about it today, like, imagine how terrible a pandemic would have been pre-internet. Just to think, like, oh, we can still reach out to people, we can still keep a group chat going, we can still do whatever. So make sure you utilize that. And if you're going crazy in the house, reach out to somebody that you haven't talked to and try and connect with them,
Yeah, pre-internet, you'd have to call someone on a landline.
and they gotta pick up, they gotta be there, like, at the same time you're calling them. Imagine us doing a Zoom call and one of us is in here. Yeah, that waiting sucks, but, like, man, that was it. If you didn't have the landline, I'm gonna sound old. I'm gonna just stop. I sound old. So. Yeah. But let me tell you, it was not fun. It was not a great thing to listen to the phone ring and ring and ring. Anyway, you can check out what we're doing every day over at breakingandentering.net. You can follow us for the latest in local music. You can check out the Mr. Nice Guy podcast as well, starting again in August. You can follow Breaking and Entering on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, TikTok. We do this thing here on Twitch every week. So make sure you check in with us, and we will see you next time. For Ben Slowey, I'm Alan Halas. We'll see you next time on The Writer's Room.
Cheers.